What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live. We're gonna get some instrumentals going. Um, and most importantly, stick around. We have a very, very good message today. I feel like a lot of people should stick around to listen to it.
USA safe pilot. I can.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button, engage. Come on, y'all. We need the engagement. Because we need to know that people are ready to be what? Born again. Are you ready to be born again? I know a lot of people probably like, what do you mean by born again? Are you ready to give up the lifestyle that you once lived? Are you ready to get that lifestyle up? Are you ready to stop? Are you sick and tired of running in a hamster wheel? You tired of paying this bill, that bill, this bill, that bill, this bill, that bill, this bill, that bill, going to work, doing this, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And why did I say that? Are you tired of paying this bill and that bill? Because a lot of people are tired of paying bills and they don't feel like they have options, but you do. You have an option. Use your use your brain. Use the brain that you were blessed with. Use the conscience that you were blessed with. And understand that you have options in this life. You are not you do not have to do anything against your will. It's you. You're in control. You make the decisions. Welcome, y'all. I'm ready to talk about I'm really ready to talk about this because I've been given the signs has been given to me, since early this morning. I woke up this morning, y'all, and as I was in the bathroom, I was thinking to myself, like, man, what? Like, where am I? Like, for real? What type of world is this, bruh? And then all of a sudden, instant conviction. Convicted myself instantly, and I said, hold up. First and foremost, you talking about where are you? You should be thankful that you was able to wake up this morning. Thank God that he was able to give you a chance to open your eyes and see another day because you didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that for you, you know? So I instantly, I convicted myself immediately this morning. And I immediately started thanking God for me being able to wake up, him waking me up this morning. And then there was a video. One of the people that I'm subscribed to, it popped up on my phone, and it was talking about how when you realize that the one thing you should be grateful for in this life is life. And then after that, another video popped up in the algorithm, Stephen Darby, and it was titled Warning Shots. And I took a listen to it, and he started talking about how, when you born again, you see things differently. When you born again, you saved. You don't do the stuff that you used to do. You don't partake in the BS. Feel me? Yeah. Warning shots. One thing that we should be grateful for in this life is not only just our lives, but consciousness. The thing is, you have something that you were blessed with, and the problem is you don't use it. it's time to start putting that to work and using your brain right now, and knowing that it's time to put the stuff that you used to do, it's time to put that to rest. Put it away. Being evil and wicked towards people, put that away. Mad at this person and mad at that person, put it away. Jealous of this person, jealous of that person, and want to make their lives a living hell, put it away. Going to work every day extremely irritable because you don't want to go to work, put it away. It's time to put those habits away. All those habits, they're now old habits. And if you sticking with me in this live stream, then that lets me know that you're ready to be born again. He said people need to ask themselves, is this really me, or am I in a hamster wheel? Are you? Are you in a hamster wheel? Would you prefer the hamster wheel? Because this thing that they created is just a cycle. And it's like over and over and over and over again. It's a shame when you have to sit back and ask yourself, man, what am I doing? Do I even want to do this? I'm really sick and tired of working. I'm tired of doing the same stuff every single day. You don't have to. When all you have to do is realize and understand that this stuff is temporary. Live your life correctly. People really believe that there is not a correct way to live your life. They really believe that it's not a correct way to live your life. It's always an excuse to do the wrong thing. It's always easy to do the wrong thing. So why is it so difficult to do the right thing? Have you ever thought about that? Why is it so easy for you to be angry all day, every day? But it's so difficult for you to put a smile on your face and to be happy. It's because you're allowing the devil to beat you down. When you sit down and you soak in depression and anger and all the negative emotions, you're allowing the devil to beat you down. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad and stuff like that, because we're not robots. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay to have emotions. But don't soak in it all day, because at this point, you allowing the devil to wheel you in. That's why people go to work angry every day. They go to work angry. They go to school angry. They just wake up angry. And it's so easy to do that. It's so normal to say, "Oh, it's Monday. It's Monday. I'm sick and tired." You know what? You know what I get so tired of? I get very tired of people saying, "Oh, it's Monday. Here we go." You know what? You better be grateful that you were able to wake up on Monday, because it's people, they didn't get a chance to, see Monday. You said they have to start by asking themselves who they even are. Most folks don't even know who they are and become upset when others explain who they are. Exactly. You know? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, people have too much pride to, they got too much pride to really listen. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen to you unless you're a celebrity. That's the only time they're going to listen to you, because you're somebody when you have a high status. If you have a high position at a job, then they'll listen to you. But if you just to them normal regular person, a nobody, you ain't got that much money, you a nobody, they're not gonna listen to you. They don't want anybody to tell them that they're doing wrong, because you're doing wrong. What do you mean? Who are you to tell me that I'm doing wrong? Only God can judge. Yes, he can. And the thing is, he's judging us every second, every minute, every hour on the hour. He judging you now. So, people really, they get me with that one. It's like, only God can judge me. Yes, he can. And he's judging you right in this moment, in this second, right now. Right now. But you ain't listening. You still ignoring it. But you getting upset with me because I'm trying to tell you about yourself. What's up, I guess Junior? You know, only God can judge me. As if he's on a timer. What? He judging us right now. Every second he's judging us. So please stop with the only God can judge me. Yes, he can. And honestly, right is right and wrong is wrong. So when you're wrong, you should accept that you're wrong. But see, the problem is people don't want to accept that they're wrong. The problem is people don't want to accept. That's one of the biggest problems. They have too much pride. This is exactly why it says pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Real talk. Pride before destruction. It's really getting to a time where people are literally starting to show how they're so prideful. They're not ready. They not ready. Because their mind is stuck on the holidays and what they about to cook for Thanksgiving. They always in a hurry, always in a rush, always busy, always got to do something. Christmas coming up, and and they gotta plan this, that, and the third, and then they gotta plan this and that, and this party and that party, and just nothing but celebrations. Honestly, people always busy. Everybody just so busy and still not doing nothing. Just because you have to go to this doctor's appointment and you have to talk to this person on the phone, or you have to take your child to this school, or you have to go to this job, or you have to go get your vehicle fixed, or you have to pay bills, or you have to, paint your house, or you have to go to this courthouse, or you have to go shopping, or just because you have to do all of that does not mean that you still a busy person. You so busy that is what determines how busy you are. You too busy to sit by yourself and really just sit in silence. You too busy to do that. You too busy to sit down and convict yourself, because see, a lot of people keep themselves busy so they won't convict themselves. They know that they be wrong, but they go on about their day and they continue to keep busy so that they won't convict themselves. They know they just did somebody wrong, but right after they just did you wrong, they just went to go donate to charity. After they went to go donate from charity, they went to their house and then they started separating things, and then they started cleaning, and then they started calling cleaning people, and then they started getting ready so they can go to work. And then they just did somebody else wrong again. So after they did that, then they just kept themselves busy for the rest of the day. They're too busy to convict themselves of their wrongs. A lot of people, they war with themselves a lot. And the thing is to keep from warring with yourself. You keep yourself busy because you ain't trying to battle with yourself. You would rather battle with everybody else. You would rather create problems between you and somebody else because you already at odds with yourself. It's a shame that we have a world pretty much full of people that really don't love themselves. And just because you just picked up that Bible the other day does not mean that you're an amazing person. Because there's people that go to church every Sunday. They at church right now, probably afternoon service or getting ready for afternoon service. Still bad people though. Just because you shook that pastor's hand, it don't make you a great, amazing person. Just because you shook a hand with a celebrity does not make you an amazing person. Just because you a supervisor does not make you an amazing person. Just because your child makes straight A's and B's does not make them a great kid. Because you have kids out here that make straight A's and B's and be some real demons. Real talk. You said celebration time, unlimited, everybody free when someone dies. Isn't that ironic? Exactly. The moment someone is permanently removed, folks show more commitment to someone deceased than in a flat. You feel me? You get your flowers when you dead. Now everybody know who you were. And see, the way social media is set up, you get your flowers about 24 hours, maybe less, and then the next thing goes viral. And then you're forgotten about. Nobody cares because you're a freaking nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to listen to the things that I'm talking about because to them, I'm not talking about nothing. Nothing at all. Just talking. Just rambling. Just running your mouth. You ain't talking about nothing. That don't even make sense what you're talking about. It doesn't make sense, especially when you unconscious. How can you understand anything? How can you comprehend anything that I'm saying if you don't have the conscious to do that? And if you tell them that, it's like, no, I have a conscious. I got a conscious. I think. Because if I didn't think, then I wouldn't be able to go to work. Exactly. That's my thing. It's like all they talk about is work. It's always about work. It's always about money. Anytime they talk nowadays, it's like all they talk about is money. All they talk about is work. All they talk about is how they're keeping themselves busy. But nobody is talking about how they can correct themselves. Everybody want to get ready to get close to God now because they feel like the world is ending because the system is crashing and the system is failing us. And politics, they're failing us. Now you want to get close to God, but you still fail to convict yourself though. You still can't take no type of accountability. Nobody still can tell you that you're wrong because you don't want to hear it. I'm too busy trying to read my Bible. Trying to hear that. Leave me alone. Come on now. You you definitely missed Danny TV when you were scrolling past. Um, exactly. That's my thing. People are walking flesh. But I look, I don't want us to live in a world full of walking flesh. I really don't. I want to be able to help people too. Because I learned that it's not about what you got. It's not about what type of grades you make. And listen, I'm not trying to, encourage or influence y'all kids, to do wrong or whatever. But I just want to say this. When are we going to start teaching these children That it's not about what type of grades you make. Stop lying to these kids. Please stop lying to the children. It's not about your grades. And don't come down on them when they get an F or a D. It's like, when is it that people are going to realize it's not about none of this stuff anymore? It ain't about the car that you got, the house that you live in, the job that you work. It's not about what your kids got. It's not about none of this, honestly. It's definitely it's not about the politics. It's about the politics, but it's not about the politics. Because when you die, is it going to be about politics? The whole purpose of us living is to live right. The whole purpose of us living is to go through things so that when we go through things, we can correct those things that we went through. We have no control over certain things in our life, and sometimes things happen. But the things that we do have control over, we can change it. And it starts when you start changing yourself. How do you change yourself? Well, if you old enough to have a responsibility, then you're old enough to really have some responsibility. You old enough to hold accountability. You know right from wrong, right? You know right from wrong. So when you start to learn right from wrong, when you start to learn that you was wrong for what you did, or you was right for what you did, voila, there you go. So when you do something wrong, you got to start to hold accountability for your actions. And without holding accountability, what are you doing? If you can never hold accountability for your actions, if you can never admit your wrongs, or if nobody can ever tell you that you're wrong, then we have a problem. There's an issue. If you're never wrong, then we got a problem. You said, I would rather our kids pass in life than a school system. Anyways, school is a plus, but life is life. Exactly. And that's not, the thing is, they're not teaching that to these children. Their mission is to keep us dumbed down as a people, to keep our children dumbed down, because they don't want us to get to the point where we realize who we are. That's the thing. To them, we're a bunch of nobodies. To them, we're just a bunch of damn numbers. Walking numbers. Walking tokens. So when we are like that to them, then, sometimes people start to grow insecurities within themselves. And I'm talking about the people that feel like they're a nobody if they ain't working. It's like, if you ain't working, then you a nobody. Then you're lazy. Then you ain't doing something right. People start to grow fears and stuff while they living this life. People will lose their jobs and turn into alcoholics or drug addicts because they're so used to working, they cannot be without a job. Because if they're without a job, then people are going to judge them. And they're worried about the judgment from others instead of living a life. It's literally not about what you have. It's not. You wasting your time living a imagined lifestyle. When you start to realize that all of this stuff is temporary, and you start coming to your senses that all of this stuff is just temporary. System is a look at what they doing. It's a joke to them. This political stuff is all a joke. It's just stage, just a TV show. It's when you start to come to your senses and realize how crooked the system really is, how people would prefer to remain lost. When you start convicting yourself and saying, you know what, I was wrong. Let me go and apologize to this person. I was wrong. We getting somewhere. You getting somewhere. But you know, many people really want to continue to remain stuck in the lifestyles that they live in right now. They don't want anybody to pull them out of that. And as a matter of fact, they justify every piece of the lifestyle that they live in right now. They justify the reasoning for them doing it. It's like, I'm still young. I got to live my life. Man, I got to go on this vacation. I still ain't never get a chance to go on vacation. And when I go to the Bahamas, I'm about to drink. I'm about to drink like I ain't never drink before. You know, you got all type of people living different type of lifestyles. And they justify it. They'll do anything in their power other than really love themselves for real. And just because you go get your hair done, and just because you know, you may read a book or something like that at home or cook, that don't mean that you love yourself. See, it's deeper than that. You really gotta dig down deep and pull yourself back together. Because, come on now, we human. We got flaws. A lot of people really believe that they don't. They really believe that they're like these extremely perfect people. None of us is perfect. Of course, we should want to be perfect, though. When we trying to walk with Christ and be righteous, of course, we should want to be perfect. That's the thing, though. We got to train ourselves up into being that way. Working on yourself. Self-improvement. And I ain't talking about working. Like literally working in a field. I'm talking about your flaws. If you know your flaws, if you know that certain parts of you is bad, start working on it. He said, just wanted to remind you, wife, you are an amazing mother and wife. Keep cooking. I appreciate you. I love you for that. You already know. You know? See, the reason why I'm doing this video is because, this live stream is because I was already giving all the signs this morning that it's time for me to really talk about this. Because it's time, y'all. The time has come. It is time to be renewed, be born again. It's no more time to play anymore, y'all. And it's like, why is she saying this? What's gonna happen? The world is about to end or something? Your world will end. That's the thing. If you don't pull it together, if you don't get yourself together, if you don't stop allowing Satan to keep wheeling you in on that side, how you gonna, so you gonna lead your, my question to a lot of people out there, are y'all willing to continue to keep living your life the same way, in the worst way? Or are you willing to just drop it and start fresh and be born again and stop all the old bad things that you used to do? Like, are y'all willing to give that up? Because we living in the times where it's time to really stop. It's time to stop fooling around, stop messing around out here. Pull yourself back together. And I'm talking about like mentally. Because a lot of people they don't even realize how they are mentally destroying themselves and failing themselves and killing themselves slowly. Real talk. They just too busy, too busy, too busy to really have time to really work on themselves. But let them tell it, they don't have anything to work on. Yeah, B system is getting stronger. And unfortunately, look, in no time, it's already happening. Look at the iPhone situation. Like, do y'all not see all of this stuff unfolding in front of your eyes? Do you not? I'm not. I don't think people understand how serious this is. The things that's been going on. This is literally Bible prophecy unfolding. Everything. We are living in the very end, y'all. You got children out here beating, attacking people. You know, a lot more than that going on. And honestly, it's only going to get worse. But as it gets worse, I'm not going to water down the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to get worse. But as it gets worse, are you going to get worse with it? With the lifestyle that you live? With the things that you continue to do? Are you going to get worse with it, or are you going to get better? Who is she to tell somebody what they're doing? Because I know what I be doing, and I know that I'm wrong at times. And when I know that I'm wrong at times, that's because I'm convicting myself for being wrong. So I want to do right. So when I want to do right, I be right and I correct my wrongs. And honestly, I'm the type of person that'll tell you, yeah, I'm wrong. I'm tripping. I apologize. I would apologize to a person. A lot of people don't do that because they don't ever feel like they're wrong. When I know that I'm wrong, then that means that I can tell somebody else that they're wrong because I see wrong. That's the thing. And when you see wrong and you know wrong is wrong and right is right, then now you can speak and you can tell that person, hey, you're wrong. But that's the thing. But exactly, you either a good person or a bad person. You know, it's just time to stop playing games. We living in the end, y'all. The end of the days. And people keep taking this, they take, their lives, their own lives as a joke. They take their own lives as a joke because they keep celebrating and they keep partying and they keep doing the wrong thing, especially when they're aware that they know that they're doing the wrong thing. They justify it. They tell themselves that they're wrong, but they justify it. So we're gonna go ahead and wait a minute. I think let me see. Oh, actually. So yeah, I saved a few videos. I saved a few videos that I wanna go ahead and react to, and we're gonna watch. Trying to see, did I save it on this one? Oh, okay, yep. So you said most people be forcefully making themselves evil. Exactly. Trust me, guys, anybody can change. Never give up. Life goes on. Yes. Yes. People literally wake up and make themselves evil. You woke up and you good because you woke up. But being that it's Monday and you heard that Monday is just not one of them days for people across the world, you want to be included on that too. Because you like, Monday, yeah, y'all right, Monday. Is it because the word sounds boring or the letter, like the letter M, is just a boring letter? Like, what makes Monday so boring? Honestly, me and my husband, we used to be the same exact way. Trust me. When when we was living different lifestyles like everybody else, we used to think the same way. Mondays is just, oh my God, because it's Monday. As we started to get out the matrix, we started to realize that that was the same thing everybody else was saying. We started to look at everything differently. We started to do things differently. We no longer went anywhere on the weekends. We actually stayed in the house on the weekends. And we would just go outside and stuff whenever we needed to do what we needed to do when people was at work and at school on the weekdays. We took care of our business on the weekdays. We would have fun on the weekdays when we wanted to have fun. We started doing things differently. That's how it started. And then everything else started coming along, you know? So, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna react to this video by Psychotic. Okay. He had actually just uploaded this video.
Get a sound Wi-Fi starting at just $19.95 a month forever.
It was 5 hours ago. And he has been uploading videos back to back. And he's been uploading videos back to back pretty much in relation to what I'm talking about today. Which is crazy, man. That's how y'all know, man. It's time. It's time to really change.
Switch now, and here's the game changer. Your price.
Okay, so the name of this video is "You Will Begin to Lose Interest in Everything," and that is a sign. So make sure y'all listen up. This is probably going to be a good video. This is my first time watching it. So It says neurosis is often the suffering of a soul that has not discovered its meaning.
Listen to this carefully, because what I'm about to say is probably happening to you right now, and you haven't even recognized it. There comes a moment in your life when everything begins to lose its color. The songs that once filled you now sound empty. The places you used to frequent no longer mean anything to you. The conversations you used to have become predictable, boring, almost unbearable. And the worst part is that you yourself don't understand what's happening. You wake up every morning with the feeling that something fundamental has broken inside you, but you don't know what it is or how to fix it. The people around you keep moving, talking, laughing as if nothing has changed, but you feel disconnected, as if you were living behind a glass that separates you from the rest of the world. Here's what no one tells you. That lack of interest is not an illness, not a flaw in your personality, nor a weakness. It's a sign. A brutal, uncomfortable, terrifying, but necessary sign. Carl Gustav Jung spent years studying this phenomenon, and what he discovered completely changes the way you should look at what is happening to you. That emptiness you feel is not the end, it's the beginning. It's the moment your psyche tells you that the version of yourself you've been performing is no longer useful, that the mask you've worn for years to fit in, to be accepted, to avoid causing problems, is falling apart. And even though it hurts, even though it's scary, it's exactly what you need. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, repeat the same routines, meet expectations, follow the script they were handed at birth. And it works. It works for years. But there comes a moment when the soul gets tired. It gets tired of pretending, tired of acting, tired of living a life that doesn't belong to it. Then it begins to shut down. First, it's the small things. A song that no longer excites you, a show you abandon halfway through, a conversation you end early because you simply don't care. Then the disinterest grows. It expands. It covers your relationships, your ambitions, your dreams. And when you realize it, you are completely empty. But here's what changes everything. That emptiness is not a trap. It's a portal. Jung called it the dark night of the soul, a painful but necessary process in which everything false must die so that the authentic can be born. The problem is that no one prepares you for this. They teach you to avoid pain, to fill the void, to constantly distract yourself. They tell you that if you feel this way, you need therapy, medication, entertainment, anything to pull you out of that state. But what they don't tell you is that running from the void is losing the greatest opportunity of your life. Because it is in that void where you find yourself. Think about this. How many times have you acted according to what was expected of you? How many decisions have you made not because you wanted to, but because they were the right thing, the acceptable thing, the thing that kept you within the circle? How many times have you repressed your desires, your impulses, your true voice, just...
I lost $50,000 because I didn't buy a domain name. My advice, head to Wix and grab yours now. It's quick and it can make all the difference.
just to avoid making others uncomfortable? All that repression, all that denial doesn't disappear. It accumulates. It festers deep in your psyche. And the day comes when the weight is so great that something inside you breaks. That disinterest you feel is your soul saying enough. It is your unconscious rebelling against a life that does not belong to you. Jung understood that the human being is not simple. We are complex, full of layers, of masks, of shadows. The person you show to the world is not you. It's a construction. He called it the persona, the social mask we all wear to function in society. And that mask is necessary. But when you confuse it with your true identity, when you live so long behind it that you forget who you are without it, your psyche begins to collapse. Disinterest is the symptom of that collapse. It's the moment your unconscious tells you that you can't keep pretending, that it's time to take off the mask and look at what's underneath. But facing that is frightening, because beneath the mask there are no certainties, there are questions, there are no easy answers, there is an abyss. And most people prefer to stay on the surface, prefer to keep pretending, even if that means living a meaningless life. They prefer the comfort of the lie to the discomfort of the truth. And that is the difference between those who transform and those who stagnate. Those who move forward are the ones who dare to enter the void, to face the darkness, to endure the discomfort without running away. Here's the most important part. The void is not an enemy, it's an ally. It is the space where the old dies and the new can be born. But most people don't understand this. When they feel the void, they fill it immediately. They jump into new relationships, new projects, new distractions. Anything to avoid feeling that terrifying silence. And by doing so, they miss the opportunity to transform. Because transformation does not happen in noise. It happens in silence. It happens when you stay still, when you stop running, when you allow yourself to feel everything you've been avoiding. Jung spoke of individuation, the process by which a person becomes what they truly are, not what others expect them to be. And that process is painful. It involves releasing everything you thought you were, all those borrowed identities, all those masks you used to fit in. It involves looking at your shadow, that part of you that you have repressed, denied, hidden because it embarrasses or scares you. And when you begin to look at your shadow, when you begin to integrate everything you have rejected, something changes. You begin to feel whole. Not perfect, but whole. You begin to live from an authentic place, not a constructed one. The problem is that society does not value authenticity.
Yes.
It values conformity. It wants you to fit in, to follow the rules, to not make waves. And if you try to step out of that mold, if you try to be yourself, they will punish you.
Yep.
They will criticize you,
Yes.
judge you, tell you that
you got multiple personalities. Yes.
you're wrong. But here is the brutal truth. The approval of others always has a price, and that price is your soul. Every time you act to please others, you lose a piece of yourself. And if you continue like this for years, you will reach a point where nothing is left. Just an empty shell moving by inertia. So what do you do when you feel that disinterest? The first thing is to stop running. Stop seeking distractions. Stop filling the void with noise. Sit with the discomfort. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judging it, without trying to fix it. Because the void has something to tell you, and you won't hear it if you keep running. Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That disinterest you feel is your unconscious speaking. And if you don't listen, you will keep repeating the same patterns, the same lies, the same empty life. The second thing is to question everything. Question your beliefs, your values, your relationships, your goals. Ask yourself, does this really belong to me? Or is it something I adopted because it was expected? Do these people really nourish me? Or are they here out of habit? Is this path truly leading me where I want to go? Or am I walking where others told me I should go? Most people never ask themselves these questions. They follow the path that was marked for them without questioning it. and then wonder why they feel empty. The answer is simple: because they are living someone else's life. And here comes the hard part. When you begin to question, when you begin to let go of what doesn't belong to you, people get scared. Because your transformation reminds them that they are not transforming. Your authenticity exposes their cowardice. And instead of supporting you, they will try to pull you back. They will tell you that you are changing, that you are no longer the same, that you've become difficult. And they are right. You are no longer the same. But that's not a problem. That's the goal. The goal is not to stay the same. It's to evolve. And evolution always involves letting go of what no longer serves you, even if that includes people. Jung also understood that the process of individuation is solitary. You cannot do it accompanied, because no one can do it for you. You can have guides, you can have support, but in the end, the work is yours. You must enter your own darkness, face your own demons, integrate your own shadow. And that requires courage. It requires being willing to lose everything you have built, all those false identities, all those superficial relationships, all those borrowed dreams. Because only when you release the false can the true emerge. The dark night of the soul is not a punishment. It is an initiation. It is the moment the old self dies so that the new self can be born. But that birth is not quick. It is not easy. It is not comfortable. It is a slow, painful, chaotic process. And during that process, you will feel lost. You will feel alone. You will feel as though you are floating in the void with nothing to hold on to. But that is exactly what you need. Because only when you stop holding on, only when you allow yourself to fall, do you discover that you can fly. Here's what most people don't understand. Disinterest is not the problem. It is the solution. It is your psyche cleaning house, removing everything that no longer serves, everything that is rotten, everything that is holding you back. And yes, it hurts. It hurts to let go of the songs that accompanied you for years, the places that made you feel safe, the people you thought would be around forever. But if you don't let go, you cannot move forward. If you cling to the old, there is no space for the new. And the new is always better. Not because it is perfect, but because it is yours. Think about this. When was the last time you did something simply because you wanted to? Not because it was expected of you. Not because it was the right thing. Not because it was safe. Just because it was what your soul truly desired. If you can't answer that question,
shopping is hard. Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Get outfits you love without any of the hassle. Tell us your style, sizes, and budget. We get to know exactly what you like and don't. Next, your real human stylist.
then you know exactly why you're feeling what you're feeling. You've been living for others for so long that you forgot how to live for yourself. And your soul got tired of waiting. Jung spoke of the self, the true self, that deep essence that exists beyond masks, beyond expectations, beyond everything constructed. And the path toward the self is not a straight path. It is a labyrinth, full of twists, dead ends, moments when you believe you are lost forever. But every time you get lost, you are actually finding yourself. Because getting lost is part of the process. You cannot find your true self without first losing yourself in everything you are not. So what do you do now? You stop resisting. You stop trying to go back to who you were. That person no longer exists, and that's okay. Let the disinterest do its job. Let the void expand. Do not fill it. Do not avoid it. Do not distract it. Live in it. Because in that void, in that uncomfortable silence, is the answer. It is the path toward who you truly are. And when you finally arrive, when you finally find yourself, you will discover something incredible. That all the pain, all the confusion, all the fear was worth it. Because on the other side of the dark night, there is not more darkness, there is light. Not the light you expected, not the light you were promised, but the light that has always been inside you, waiting for you to stop looking for it outside. That is the true rebirth. It is not becoming who you were, it is becoming who you were always meant to be. And that process begins exactly where you are, now, in the disinterest, in the void, in the silence. Here's the final truth you need to hear. The world is not going to understand you. People are not going to support your transformation. They will try to pull you back to where you were because your change makes them uncomfortable. But you are not here to please anyone. You are here to live your life, your real life, not the one they sold you. And if that means letting go of everything, if that means starting from zero, if that means walking alone for a while, then that is exactly what you have to do. Disinterest is the sign. Do not ignore it. Do not medicate it. Do not fill it with distractions. Listen to it. Because your soul is speaking, and what it has to tell you will change everything. The question is, are you willing to listen? Are you willing to let go? Are you willing to enter the void without guarantees of what you'll find on the other side? Because that is the only way forward. There are no shortcuts, no tricks, no easy paths. There is only the void, and your courage to walk through it. So go ahead. Let go of the songs that no longer move you. Let go of the places that no longer call you. Say goodbye to the people who no longer nourish you. Because in that letting go, in that release, is your liberation, is your rebirth, is your true self waiting to emerge. And when it finally does, when you finally become who you really are, you will look back and understand that the disinterest was not the end. It was the beginning of everything. But there is something deeper you need to understand. Something Jung discovered after years exploring the darkest corners of the human psyche. That disinterest you feel is not random. It doesn't appear for no reason. It arrives when you have accumulated too many lies, too many masks, too many false versions of yourself. Every time you said yes when you wanted to say no, every time you smiled when you wanted to scream, every time you swallowed your words to keep the peace, you were building a prison. And now that prison is so small, you can no longer breathe inside it. The human psyche has a brutal defense mechanism. When it detects that you've been living a lie for too long, it shuts you down. It's not depression, even though it looks like it. It's not weakness, even though you feel weak. It's self-preservation. It's your unconscious saying that if you continue on this path, you are going to destroy yourself completely. So it shuts the gates. It turns off interest. It disconnects you from everything that kept you trapped in that false identity. And even though you feel dead inside, the truth is the opposite. It is the first sign that something in you wants to truly live. Here's what no one explains about this. This process. You cannot control it. You cannot speed up the transformation. You cannot skip steps. You cannot pretend you've arrived when you're just beginning. The psyche has its own time, its own rhythm, and any attempt to force it only prolongs the suffering. Jung knew this well. He himself went through his own dark night. Years of confusion, disturbing visions, facing parts of himself that terrified him. And what he discovered in that descent forever changed how we understand the human mind. He discovered that within each person there exists not only a conscious self, but an entire unconscious universe full of symbols, archetypes, forces that operate beyond our rational comprehension. And when you deny those forces, when you repress everything that doesn't fit the image you want to project, those forces accumulate in the shadow. They grow stronger, darker, more dangerous, and eventually they erupt. That eruption can manifest as a crisis, as an illness, or as this profound disinterest that disconnects you from everything. So what lives in your shadow? What have you been repressing for years? What parts of yourself have you denied because you were afraid to show them? Maybe it's your anger. That anger you never expressed because you were taught it was wrong to be angry. Maybe it's your ambition. Those desires you buried because you were told they were selfish. Maybe it's your sexuality, your deepest desires that you repressed because they didn't align with the good person image you tried to maintain. Whatever it is, it's there. And the more you deny it, the more power it has over you. Shadow integration is one of Jung's most important concepts, but also one of the most misunderstood. It is not about becoming your dark impulses. It is not about acting without restraint. It is about recognizing that those parts exist, seeing them without judging, understanding that they are part of your totality. Because only when you integrate your shadow, when you stop dividing yourself between good and bad, between acceptable and unacceptable, can you be whole. And only when you are whole can you be free. But here's the problem. Society doesn't want you to be whole. It wants you to be functional. It wants you to repress what makes others uncomfortable, to hide what disturbs, to act according to the established script. And for years, you did. You were functional, you were acceptable, you were what they expected. But now your psyche is rebelling. And that rebellion is the best thing that has happened to you. Because it means there is still something alive inside you. Something that refuses to keep pretending. Think about the people you know. The ones who have spent decades trapped in lives that don't belong to them. You see them smiling at family gatherings, fulfilling obligations, maintaining appearances. But if you look into their eyes, if you truly pay attention, you will see they are empty. Their light went out years ago, and what remains is just a shell moving out of habit. That is what happens when you ignore the signal, when you choose the comfort of the lie over the discomfort of the truth.
That is what happens when you want to continue to live the same lifestyle that you've been living. You know you're tired of it, but you gotta make it fun. Maybe it's just the fact that it's just getting a little boring, so you gotta get a little fun. You gotta be fun. You know? You just keep ignoring the fact that it's time to change. It's time to put it to rest.
Become a ghost of yourself, present but absent, alive but dead. Jung warned about this constantly. He spoke of neurosis as the suffering of a soul that has not found its meaning. It's not that you are sick, it's that you are misaligned. You are living a life that contradicts your deepest essence, and that contradiction is tearing you apart from within. Disinterest is simply the visible symptom of that internal contradiction. Your soul can no longer support the lie, so it stops investing energy in everything that perpetuates it. And here's something crucial. This process has no defined.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
End. There is not one day when you wake up completely transformed, with all the answers, with no doubts or fears. Individuation is a lifelong path. Every time you think you've arrived, you discover another layer, another shadow, another lie you've been holding. But that does not mean the path isn't worth it. Every step you take toward your true self, even if small, even if painful, brings you closer to a life truly worth living. Now, pay attention to this. During this process, you are going to lose things. You will lose relationships you thought were fundamental.
Yes.
You will lose identities you believed were eternal.
Yes.
You will lose certainties that once gave you security. And it will hurt. It will hurt so much that there will be moments when you want to go back.
Yep.
Return to the comfort of the lie. Recover everything you lost. But you can't. Once you cross the threshold, once you begin to wake up, there is no turning back.
No turning
You
back.
can try to go back to sleep, but it won't be the same.
It won't.
You've already seen too
on,
much.
Man. Come on,
Jung
man.
spoke of the process of death and
Cooking. For real. This is just straight up 100% truth. Straight up. And let me tell y'all something. I was born again. I was born again. Officially born again 3 years ago. 3.5 years ago. Everything that I have experienced has opened my eyes up. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't just experience it. I took from what I had to experience. I knew that, you know what I experienced, it was a lesson to me. And I learned through that lesson. I was ready to change. I started seeing everything differently. Honestly. All the questions that I had already had back when I was a teen, it seemed like it wasn't a conspiracy. The things that I used to think about back then, it wasn't a conspiracy, y'all. Real talk. The fact that I wanted to change at such a young age. I was 17 when I wanted to change. But I officially changed 3.5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to let y'all know, if I can do it and I did it, you can too. To all the people out there that swear up and down that I'm the same Danny from 2018 or 2019 or 2017, that's not me. Real talk. Oh yeah, she's the same person from 2022. Nah, that ain't me. Like, real talk, I mean, the fact that people don't believe that change is even possible, the fact that people don't even believe that change is possible lets me know everything I need to know about them. They continue to hide in the shadows. They continue to be trapped in their own smothered, how can I say it? They smother themselves with lies. You know what I'm saying?
birth as something inherent to psychological transformation. And now that we've made it this far, before we continue, I want to present the following to you. Our book, The Formula of Awakening, is now available. Do you feel like there's something inside you that wants to awaken, but you don't know where to start? Then I invite you to transform your way of thinking, and with it, your way of living. Discover who you can become. Start today. And in a way, you are. You are dying to the constructed version of yourself. You are, so the new self can be born. Grab your copy now at a great price. With that said, let's continue with the video. The old self must die so the new self can be born. But that death is not metaphorical. It feels real. It feels as though you are losing everything you are, as though you are dissolving into nothing. And in a way, you are. You are dying to the constructed version of yourself, to all those layers of conditioning, expectations, masks. And in the empty space that remains, something new can emerge. But for something new to emerge, you must hold the void. You must resist the temptation to fill it immediately with more of the same. Because the natural
After 3 years of therapy, this is what I figured out. There's talking to someone, and then there's talking to the right someone. I met my therapist when I was going through a huge life transition. I knew it would be smart for me to talk to a real professional instead of turning to less helpful sources like, I don't know, endlessly venting to my friends. Don't get me wrong, I will continue to do that, but I knew it would be smart for me to talk to a professional. I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of my self-worth, and I'm better at emotionally regulating, and I have these practical tools that have helped with my anxiety so much. Genuinely, I'm proud of myself. I really am. But it was so important for me to find a therapist that I actually liked and felt like I could be honest with, because this person was going to hear my most intimate thoughts and feelings. BetterHelp has a therapist match commitment, and what that means is they do a lot of the initial matching work for you. So what I did is I went on and I filled out this quiz about what I was looking for, what my goals were, and then they have an algorithm that matched me with a really great therapist that aligned with me. I ended up switching 2 or 3 times until I found someone that I really love, and I'm so grateful that they made it so easy for me to find a good match and switch until it was perfect for me. In my opinion, that is so much less daunting than just going out and trying to find a therapist on your own. And it's pretty cool that the match that we ended up making has been by my side through so much life at this point. Like dating, 2 cross-country moves, getting married, career changes, lots of growth. And if you're ready to start that journey too, check out BetterHelp today.
instinct when you feel the void is to look for anything that fills it. A new relationship to avoid feeling alone, a new project to feel productive, a new addiction to avoid feeling pain. But if you do that, if you fill the void before it's time, you lose the opportunity to transform. The void is the womb of transformation. It is the space where the new is formed. And if you don't give it time, what is born will be premature, incomplete, another false version of yourself. So how do you hold the void? With presence, with awareness, with the willingness to feel everything without needing to act. Most people cannot do this. They feel discomfort and need to immediately do something to relieve it. But transformation requires that you learn to sit with discomfort. Observe it without judging it. Let it be without trying to change it. That is the hardest practice, but also the most transformative. Jung said that those who look outside dream. Those who look inside awaken. For years you looked outside for answers, validation, meaning. And what you found were more questions, more emptiness, more confusion. Because the answers were never outside. They were always inside. But looking inside is frightening. Because in there lies everything you've been avoiding. Your fears, your shadows, your uncomfortable truths. But also your essence, your power, your authenticity. Here's what changes everything. When you finally dare to look inside, when you finally face everything you've been avoiding, you discover it wasn't as terrible as you thought. You discover you can hold your shadow without it destroying you. You discover that your anger doesn't make you a monster, that your ambition doesn't make you selfish, that your desires don't make you immoral. You discover that all those parts of yourself you denied are simply energy, and that when you integrate them, when you stop fighting them, they become your greatest strength. And then something magical happens. Disinterest begins to transform. What once felt empty begins to fill with something new, something you cannot name but can feel. It is not the old superficial enthusiasm, not the fleeting excitement you felt before. It is something deeper, more solid, more real. It is the interest that arises from your essence, not from your conditioning. And when you act from that place, everything changes. Your decisions are different. Your relationships are different. Your life is different. Because now you are not living to meet expectations. You are living to express your truth. You are not seeking approval. You are seeking authenticity. You are not trying to fit in. You are creating your own path. And this is what it truly means to be alive. It is not comfortable. It is not easy. It is not what you were taught. But it is yours. And that is the only thing that truly matters. So now the decision is yours. You can continue running from the void, filling it with distractions that only prolong suffering. Or you can enter it, hold it, and allow transformation to happen.
Yep.
The path is not easy, but it is the only one worth walking.
For sure.
And if this message resonated with you,
yes,
if you felt that these words touched something deep inside you, then you are not alone in this process. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because we will continue exploring these topics that no one else dares to touch.
Yep.
These uncomfortable truths you need to hear. And I want to know you. I want to know that you're on the other side, going through your own dark night. So leave me this phrase in the comments. I am going through the void. Write it exactly like that, and I will personally greet you, because I want you to know that you are not alone in this. See you in the next video.
Come on now. That was a very, very good live stream, man. Real talk. You know, I honestly, let me turn this camera back around. I wanted to talk a little bit, kind of a little bit about what happened in Chicago, what went viral, because this is kind of in relation to what we're talking about today, being born again. The situation that happened in Chicago is getting completely out of hand. For those of you that don't know, it's a video that surfaced in the internet that went viral, where a mother and her son and her other child were jumped on and beat down by children. As she went to go and pick up her kids from school, they followed her and her kids all the way to the house and jumped on them. And the video went viral. It's a lot of drama behind it. It's a lot of people that is now, you know, using this situation as a way to continue to be evil and wicked towards one another. You know, the all of those kids that jumped on the lady and her kids, their parents have came forward, you know, and then on social media it just look a hot mess. You know, those parents are supposed to, you know, hold their children accountable for their actions, but they fail to do that. You know, They got their kids on camera doing fake apologies, all type of stuff. You know, I mean, but it just turned into a whole doggone circus now on the internet. They're going to these parents' homes, threatening to do harm to them, you know, just because their children jumped the lady. So now they targeting the parents of the children that jumped the lady, and they're trying to, man, look, y'all have to go see for yourselves. But I look at this and I say, man, now at this point, y'all, we continue to find a reason to hate one another still through it all. We still have to find some type of way to show how much hatred we have towards each other. You said that situation is crazy, and I think it's an aftermath as always in Chicago. Yeah. They are using this as a way to be into altercations with each other in the neighborhood and stuff like that. Like, and it looked like a zoo. It looked like a zoo. It looked like a bunch of wild animals. Real talk, because y'all standing outside this lady house. It's a shame, you know what I'm saying? So, 1 second, y'all. All right, we back. Okay, so let's go to this video that I want to show y'all. The reason why I started talking about the situation is because I want to show y'all the video of these children who obviously have no respect. They weren't trained up correctly. They actually have no home training because they weren't taught that. This is exactly why I've been saying, like, I blame the parents. I 100% blame the parents. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we raise our children right and they still decide to go the wrong way. That's because it's their life, it's their choice, it's their decisions. They got to learn harsh consequences for the decisions that they make. But see, the problem is when you're the parent and you're not making your child hold any accountability for their actions because you don't feel like they were wrong, and you don't feel like that was, you feel like, what? Like, that wasn't that bad. Like, there's worse things that happen. I'm just saying, can you, at this point, blame the child? It seemed like, I mean, you can, but it's like the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Obviously, majority of the times, the child is a reflection of their own parents. So, I want to look at this. And it's a shame. It's a shame how something like this happened. I'm trying to find an actual video. Something like this happens, and then now everybody got something to talk about with this. But like I said before, I had been talking about how bad it is here in Chicago with these children. How these kids, they don't have a lot of them, they have their parents in their lives, but their parents aren't in their life at the same time. Yeah, they live with their parents, but their parents ain't never around. They always gone, they always doing something, they always busy. or trying to keep themselves busy to stay away from their kids, to stay away from being a parent. So,
I'll be honest with you guys, the video is very hard to watch. A 33-year-old mother and her 9-year-old son were walking home from school when they were attacked by a group of school children. Like, beat her up. There has been talk about her son being bullied, that she had told the school numerous times about bullying. It was so heartbreaking to see these children, like, as young as like 8, 9 years old to teenagers.
this is wild, bro.
Beating up this woman and her child.
Okay,
like,
hold on, y'all. So I ain't even gonna play the sound. See, I didn't the video that I saw, I didn't see it, clear enough or whatever, but I'm just gonna warn y'all, this is, I guess, violent, but I'm gonna just play the video. This is crazy. This is crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Just, and you know what's so crazy about it? It's the fact that these are children that have no home training, no respect, to the point where they took it to the point where they're harming another adult. Now, we all know that if this woman had fought them back, she definitely would be locked up. There would be all type of charges against her. And it's just sickening. And honestly, it's very sick. And how far it has went is to the point where now people finding a way to get into it with each other. And being that this is Chicago, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. If y'all keep it going like this in a negative way, like using this as a way to be into it with one another as adults or whatever, I'm gonna be very honest. Somebody is gonna end up hurt very badly, or somebody is gonna end up dead. In situations like this, I understand how upset people can become behind the fact that these kids have no respect and they jumped on an adult or whatever, and now y'all ready to come at their parents and stuff like that. But honestly, just let this woman do this the legal way. Just let all of this happen the legal way, y'all, and don't involve yourselves in that. At the end of the day, somebody gonna get justice. Right. It's common to see. You said, remember our high school years, it was major incidents. Exactly. I remember, back in 2000, what was it, 2009, when Darian Albert got jumped on by a bunch of boys. Somebody hit him with a 2x4. The fight got out of control. He got hit in the head with a 2x4 and he was dead. People describe the scene as being so horrific, blood everywhere. And those guys are serving life in prison. And it's just, it's crazy. It's sad, because to be honest, these kids should be held accountable. Yes, their parents should too, because honestly, they could have hit this any wrong. They could have hit this woman in any type of way, and she could have lost consciousness and been dead. Fighting gets dangerous, especially when you put your hands on somebody and you so angry, you ain't even thinking. You can hit a person in the wrong area and kill them. So what would have happened if these kids had did this to this woman? Stumping her in her head and all type of stuff. They could have killed this woman. So we all gonna hold y'all children accountable if they had have killed this woman? Because it's like one of the parents said, "Oh, you know, y'all act like stuff don't y'all act like stuff worse than this ain't happened before." And it's like, while it's true that things worse than this happen, it's the sickening part about it is it's on the internet. Another sickening part about it is your child was involved in this disgusting attack, and you don't want to hold your child accountable. When children are not held accountable at a young age, and they parents don't see anything with what they're doing, they don't feel like anything they don't even feel like what they're doing is wrong. They're going to grow up and believe that everything that they do wrong is actually right. They're not going to even have a problem with trying to justify it. It's nothing to justify, because everything that they do wrong is technically right. They will rob a store comfortably. They will pistol whip somebody comfortably without even having to convict themselves, because they feel like it's right. They was never taught wrong, because their parents never held them accountable. Nobody ever held them accountable. Nobody ever told them that they were wrong. You said the sickest part about it, there is no reason it should still be happening. Exactly. There's no reason that anything like this should be okay. Now, I haven't heard anything as of lately about what's going on, because I haven't did any research on it. I'm really trying to stay away from it, because honestly it's getting bad. And Chicago is already a messed up city. It's like pretty much everybody into it with each other out here. So, all it took was for something like this to happen. Now, you got people standing outside the homes of where these parents live, dropping their locations across the internet. They getting up with each other. This is just, come on now. You said this is stage play out here in Chicago. They just helping these folks become right. They just helping these people to normalize. I mean, see, the thing is, crime was already normalized when we started to learn about, the National Guard is getting ready to come out here a few months back. Crime was already pretty much normalized in the city of Chicago, because the mayor, he said, "What are you talking? There is no crime. What are you talking about?" But coming from a black woman that lives in a black neighborhood, that was born and raised in the city of Chicago, still currently reside in Chicago, I'm telling you, it's bad. It's bad. And the children are getting worse. They're getting worse by the minute. You want to know why? Because their parents don't hold them accountable. Their parents are horrible parents, to be honest. They literally are their children's best friends. They love when their children turn 11 and 12 so they can allow them to do whatever they want at this point, because now it's no longer, the fact that you have to wait until you're 18 to come and go as you please. It's the fact that when you turn 11, you can come and go as you please. You can even have a key to the house. You can stay out all time of the night. You can, have a sleepover at this person and that person's house and go to school with them, and you don't have to report back to me. That's how horrible parenting has become in Chicago, y'all. These kids literally do not even go straight home when they out of school. They go straight to the streets. They go to the gas. They packed up at the gas stations though. And it's like back then when we got out of school, we had to go straight to the house and do our homework. You could not go outside. Not until you finish your homework or your chores. And especially, not even just that, you better have some respect. Because if your parent was told that you got in trouble at school, it's gonna be some consequences. It's gonna be some consequences. You don't just, get away with anything. See, parenting back then wasn't no joke. Now these females just popping out babies, and and these guys getting these females popped off, and they not even taking care of their responsibilities. The only thing that they doing is making sure these kids have uniforms so they can go to school and get the heck up out of their faces. I mean, honestly, I heard that the youngest child in this incident that was involved in this incident was like I think 7, because they said it was not just a bunch of 8th graders. It was like 8th graders, 1st graders, 2nd graders. It's a shame. This is a shame. And the biggest question is, are y'all ready to be born again? So let me see. I think I have another video. I think I have another video on the playlist.
Want to learn how to clone yourself to make talking head content like this without...
Let's see. You said they not ready because they can't leave the Matrix ways alone. Yeah, and you know what? See, this is the thing. It's like you can only teach people so much. Like literally, you can only help them so much because everybody don't want to be bothered. People don't want to be bothered. They don't want to hear that. They want to continue to live the life that they've been living and justify all of the wrong that they do. They don't want to live right. There is no such thing as living right. Like, what do you mean? Because we're not perfect. I mean, people really keep saying that because we're not perfect. We're not perfect. So just because you believe that we're not perfect, you believe that we're not perfect enough for a change? Yeah, you could change, but we still not perfect. So basically what you're saying is you're justifying reasonings as to why you should not change. Because if you decide that you want to change and you end up correcting your wrongs and end up doing the right thing, you're afraid that you might go back and do the wrong thing again. Thing is, it happens. We mess up. But just because we mess up doesn't mean that we get the chance to continue to mess up and to continue to do that over and over and over and over and over again. But you know what? You're right. People, they not ready. They feel like if they mess up, if they make a change and they make a mistake and they mess up again, they beat themselves down to the point where they feel like they have to keep messing up then. Because I already tried to change and it didn't work. No, the thing is you ain't trying hard enough. We make mistakes. For real. When you make a mistake and you start to justify the fact that you have to continue to make the same purposes, because at this point it's not even any longer, it's no longer a mistake anymore. Because the fact that you're continuously doing it, you're doing it on purpose at this point. You know what you're doing. You already knew that you knew that you had the 1 second, y'all. Okay. We know what we be doing. We know right from wrong. The fact that we know right from wrong, we should know that what we do is wrong is wrong. And at this point, you have a choice. You have a decision that you need to make. Are you going to continue to do wrong even though you know it's wrong? Does it even matter to you? Do you feel like you should change that at any point? Because trust me, I had too much pride once upon a time. I knew that what I was doing was wrong, but I continued to do it. I said, well, I mean, it is what it is. Might as well keep doing it. Like, And then I got tired of it. I got tired. I said, you know what? I'm sick and tired. I'm tired of doing this. And I no longer did anything wrong. I no longer did that thing that I was tired of doing. I just stopped doing it so I wouldn't have to be tired of doing it. A lot of people do the wrong thing intentionally and they be really tired of doing the wrong thing. But they feel like, man, I need to spice it up a little. I need to get better. I'm tired of doing it, but I need to just get a little better at, doing it. And they never feel like they should stop. They just go on and they do the next thing wrong and justify how they should continue to do it. Because they believe that that's what life is about. Life is about just living your life like that. Life is about fun. Let's have fun. Let's live it up. Let's celebrate. Especially when you old enough to celebrate. People don't think that life is about mistakes and those mistakes that you made, making it right so you can be renewed from within. People don't believe that life is about not only just living to do the right thing, but getting close to God and maintaining a closer relationship with God. He'll put you through a lot of things just for you to realize that. And I feel sorry for the people that still don't realize that. I feel sorry for the people that is 60 plus years old and they still don't realize it. I feel sorry for the people. Let me get some music going. I feel sorry for the people that hear me talking right now and that already made the decision that, what? Born again? Nah, I'm good. I'm just going to keep living my life. Only God can judge me. As if he's not judging you right now in this very second. I feel sorry for the people that feel like they want to change. They hear me, but they just stuck right now. They got to keep doing what they do. What is she trying to insinuate? Is she saying that I should just stop working or something because I got to keep... I'm telling you, it's always about work and it's always about making money. It's never about an internal change. It's never about transformation. It's always about work. It's always about keeping yourself busy and figuring out how you can keep your bills paid and make more money. That lets me know that you're very deep in the matrix and you're not ready to come out. When you believe that, when you start to get a grip and believe that life is literally about transformation, transforming on the inside, because I don't care about what anybody got to say about me when they look at me and look at me from the outside. They can look at me and say, ooh, she look mean. They can look at me and say, ooh, who she thinks she is with that hoodie on, with those glasses on, with that stuff in her background. Who she thinks she is. You can judge me definitely from looking on the outside, but you can't judge me from the inside though. Because I know who I am. I know who I am. I know that I changed. And I know that I changed for the better. And I don't care how many people run their mouth about me. At the end of the day, I already changed. I was already born again. All of that stuff that you saying about me, it don't matter. All of that stuff that you writing in black and white, it don't matter because I know who I am. I know the mistakes that I made in the past. I know the baggage that I had to carry with those mistakes. But when the minute that I acknowledged that I was wrong, the minute that I convicted myself for being wrong, the minute that I had to go through the things that I had to go through, I learned that actually it was an experience. I learned that it was the greatest teaching for me. Cause I get a lot out of the things that I go through, the things that I have to endure. I get a lot out of it because guess what? I know that everything happens for a reason. And I don't bash myself and keep beating myself down about past mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's the fact that when you know that you have made a mistake, now it's time to change that around and not keep doing it. You don't keep doing it. Because who will you become when you continue to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? Who will you become? But who will you become when you know that you have made a mistake and you live to correct it? You know that you was wrong, so you correct it and you move on. That's the thing. You move on from it once you correct it. Once you acknowledge it, you move on from it. Only the devil is going to keep bringing up your past and throwing it in your face to make you feel bad, to make you feel like you a nobody. You ain't, girl, you ain't changed. You ain't, no, that's impossible. No, only the devil believes that change is impossible because they're being tormented. Those people that think like that, they're being tormented mentally every day of their lives. They're dying on the inside. There is no transformation. There is no internal healing. There is nothing there but emptiness, depression, just a darkness, a dark cloud hovering over them. And they just feel like, since I'm not right, ain't nobody else right either. They're insecure within themselves. And so they take their insecurities out on you. They always got to discuss you. They always have to bring you up. They always have to stalk you, hunt you down to see if you're doing wrong. But even when you're doing right, you're doing wrong. When people feel a way about you, you can't change their minds. But I'm here to tell you, I know for a fact I can't change nobody's mind. But what I do want to say is, my past is my past. Those things that I have done in my past, I already corrected my mistakes. I'm already moving along. I'm moving along my journey. I'm on a journey. It's the journey. I'm not on the destination. I'm not doing what everybody else do. I'm not following where everybody else goes. Because see, the thing is, it's an ongoing cycle to them. They don't even know where to go. They believe that it's a finish line. I don't. I know that I got to keep going. Hey, along our journey, it's going to be things that happen. It's going to be some mistakes that we make. But that's the thing. Once we know that we made a mistake, we have to make things right. It's about transformation. It is about being better, becoming better. That's what it's about. What's up, 44 Pause? Okay. Appreciate you for coming through. You said zombies live in the past. Yes, zombies live in the past. You know what I'm saying? Demons live in the past. See, a demon is always going to bring your past back up and throw it back in your face. Oh no, you did this, remember? And then they want you to, they want those images to pop up in your mind so you can come down on yourself again. Mind you, you already moved past that. But before you move past it, you made sure that you cleaned yourself up in that area though, so that you can move forward. But they want you to go backwards. They want you to remember this. Remember when? Remember in 2013 when you did this and it resulted in that? Remember? No, you didn't change. There is no way possible that you changed. Just because, like I said, just because you've made a mistake in your past and you decided that, hey, I want to change, and you try to change and you make the same mistake again, it doesn't mean that you can keep doing it though. Just because you didn't, I messed up, did it again. It's kind of like playing a little Simon Says game. You know? That's what it kind of reminds me of. Or better yet, musical chairs. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But honestly, it's like when you mess up, you correct it, you move forward. You can't go back. You can't go back. You already made sure that you can make it right so that you don't have to mess up again. You know? But see, that's the thing. A lot of people, they so insecure within themselves. They don't feel like they can change. They feel like, oh, I can't do it. But they tell their children or nieces and nephews or grandchildren, you can do it. Never say you can't. But when somebody tell you you need to change your ways, you say you can't. Or you tell yourself, I can't change. You literally can only get so much grace from the Most High God. He's only going to give you so much grace. But if you continue to make the wrong decisions intentionally, though, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, you asking for the devil to just take you. Take me. You know? What's up? You said we are on a journey, not a life lesson of... We on a journey, not a life lesson of not improving. I feel we all have no choice but to improve every day. Some folks believe they're perfect. Yeah, that's the thing. They believe that they're perfect, you know? But then if you tell them that, hey, you were wrong for doing so-and-so like that, it's like, I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes. Yeah, we do. So does that mean that we should continue to do it? See, the thing is, people don't believe that they should clean up certain pieces of themselves because they feel like it's irrelevant to do that. It's irrelevant to clean up that part of me. Everybody does it. So just because everybody does it, that means that, you should do it too? Or you should just keep doing it because everybody else keeps doing it? You don't want to be better in that area? Nah. I mean, I'm not going to go to jail or anything for my actions. So basically, you want to live your life knowing that that thing that you do, it's not a good thing. You just want to keep being able to do it because everybody else is doing it, Because there was never any consequences for your actions. See, that's the thing. People continue to do the wrong thing because they feel like nothing's going to happen to me. There's never going to be any consequences for my actions. I'm not going to, lose my life or go to jail. Eventually, you'll get tired of it. You'll get tired of doing the same thing the wrong way. Eventually. So now when you get tired of it, the question is, are you going to keep doing it or are you going to just stop and put it to rest and become better? You said people try and mix mistakes and ill intent for the same thing. Yes, exactly. They do. They mix mistakes and ill intent in the wrong thing. Yes, they do. They say stuff like, well, mind you, everything that they do that they know is wrong, they believe that it's a mistake. So they can just be the type of person that just bumps into people all the time. And they don't feel like it's wrong, even though they like to cause chaos. They like to start problems. They actually have ill intent. They have the intentions to bump into somebody. But let you bring it up to them, they're going to say, it's a mistake. I just bumped into, it's just a mistake. Man, they don't ever want to hold any accountability though. It's just a mistake. And that's it. You know? I don't understand why we have a bunch of adults in this world that actually act like a bunch of toddlers. That don't want to, I'm telling y'all, I know people personally that is 60 plus years old that never held any accountability. I'm telling you, that has to be one of the most craziest things to witness, to see. And I'm sure that some of y'all may know people out there the exact same way. It's so sad when you see a 60 plus, 70, 80 plus year old man or woman that still has failed to take accountability, to hold any accountability. They are willing to go out like that. Me personally, I can't. When I'm held accountable for my actions, I learn from it. Experience has got to be one of the best teachers. Real talk. You got people out here that's held accountable for their actions, going to prison. They get out and they continue to do the same. They still ain't learned. But the whole time they was behind bars, they swore up and down that they change. They swore up and down that they change. But they get out and they commit the same crimes. They do the same stuff. And they go back to jail. And they get out. And they swear that they changed. And they go back to jail again. And it's like, how can you... This is exactly why I say, man, I feel sorry for the children nowadays in 2025. Unfortunately, I knew that it was going to get to a point where if these parents do not parent their children correctly, they're going to go out here and they're going to hurt someone. Because they think evil is good. They think evil is good and good is evil. Right now, I can only imagine how many people feel like I'm just such a horrible person for even talking about change or being born again. Who am I to talk? Who am I to judge? Is what they're saying. Here she go. On repeat, saying the same thing. I can't control you. I can't control your mind. It's up to you. If you want to listen, if you want to change, it's up to you. But I know one thing, man. I know I don't want to go out like that. I know I don't want to leave this earth and go into a realm where I don't even want to be. I don't want to go to hell. I don't. I'm trying to continue to acknowledge my wrongs whenever I do wrong. People that don't acknowledge they're wrong, they have too much pride. And like I keep saying, pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Pride comes before destruction. I know a lot of people that self-destructed because they failed and refused to change. Now they sitting up here with severe health conditions, afraid to die because they know where they're gonna go. That's the thing. A lot of people is afraid to die because they know where they going. And it's like you don't have to be afraid, and you wouldn't even be comfortable with knowing where you going if you can just take this time out to change. It ain't never too late. It ain't never too late. And you're never too old. And you're never too young. Especially if you know right from wrong. Exactly. Who are you to be so real and speak so much truth? People feel like, nah, I mean, not Hera, but I'm 59. Man, age ain't nothing but a number. Then they turn around and it's like, who is this young chick thinking that she telling us what to do? It's really her generation. It's always about which generation and whose generation it is. No, that's the young folks. That's the younger generation. That's not us older people. And my thing is, the older generation is honestly the people that was born in like the 60s. And this is not everybody, okay? This is not everybody, because if you're a great person and you know, you working on internal change, or you have internally changed, then I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that got too much pride to change, that was born in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s. They got too much pride to change. Who are you to talk to them? And they're a adult, older than you. Who are you to tell them anything and they can be your parent or your grandparent? But that's them. They want to continue on with the generational curses. They don't want you to help them break that. They have a mission to accomplish. And it is to continue on the generational curses. And then they turn around and they blame the younger generation. But it's ongoing generational. The generational curses is happening because it's not getting corrected. You said if they're born in the 30s, it's too late to change. Do you think that they got common sense? Do they have a conscience? Because we don't know who's, you know, aware, who was born in the 30s. It's people that can still be aware and still conscious up there, even though they was born in the 30s. I understand that over time, people get real old and they got health conditions, but man, you would be surprised. My thing is, if you can get your ass up at the age of 98 and do TikTok dances, then somewhere, somehow, you have some damn common sense. You said Super Chat is open, Cash App is open, and pinned below, but most importantly, we care for more, especially engagement. Yeah, engaging. Hey, if you want to donate to the channel, you can donate through Super Chat, Cash App, become a member, you know, a subscriber, you know, if you want to support the channel. You said, sadly, folks don't have that as common as they should. Exactly. It's very rare to see that. Very rare to see that. But the thing is, it's like they have it. They have it and they were blessed with it. And I'm talking about people worldwide. Minus the people that have health conditions to the point where they can't really use their mind. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else got to do the thinking for them. But I'm talking about the people that, you know, they can think for themselves. Those are the people I'm talking about. It's like you have a conscience. You were blessed with a conscience, but you don't want to use it. But let them tell it they are using it. Because if they weren't using it, they wouldn't have a house, a car, money, a job. You know, it's always about having money. It's always about what you got. It ain't never about what you really got, which is consciousness and awareness. But it's just the fact that you failed it and you don't even put it to use. You don't even think that it's a major blessing. So it's like, nah, I'm good. I'd rather, whatever, man. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Okay. All right. You know, sometimes you just gotta let sleeping dogs lay. But I still wanted to come on here and push this message that it's time to be born again. It's time to put that lifestyle, that horrible lifestyle that you keep living, put it to rest. And I'm not talking about just only going to the club and throwing money or living a fast life and stuff like that. I'm talking about mentally as well. Because people are so mentally unaware and mentally unconscious that, yeah, they make decisions, but they make their decisions according to social media. They make their decisions according to what someone told them to say or do. They don't think for themselves at all. They don't even do their own research. It's time to come up out of that. And it's time to start using your brain, thinking for yourself, making your own decisions. And it's about transformation, and it's about changing for the better. Because where do you want to go when it's your time to go? That's the thing. Do you want to go to hell? Because everybody that's in hell is people that ducked and dodged the truth. Everybody that's in hell is people that died with the blindfold on. Everybody that's in hell continue to keep doing the wrong thing, and they felt like it was fun. Sin became so fun, and they lived their life and they went down in the grave just like that. And now they're in hell. You know, shout out to Stephen Darby, man. He spoke on this, and I would have played this half of the sermon, but we're gonna do that in another live stream. One thing that he said that's so true is, he said he was sick and tired of going to these funerals, and the people that's sitting in the pews at the funeral, you know, they want somebody to get up there and continue to speak good on the person that was living a horrible lifestyle to the point where it resulted in their death. And now they whole family and all their friends is there watching, standing over their casket and crying. But you got these people that's going up there saying nothing but good things. Yeah, Marquise was a real man. He was a good brother. He did everything right. And they just took him too soon. No, he was living wrong. And the devil came and snatched him up. Because he had the warnings. He had the red flags right in front of his face. He was supposed to stop a long time ago. But Marquise decided to, keep indulging in, the wrong thing to the point where he's dead. But if you get up there and you brave enough to speak out and say, man, look, I love this person, man. They was my homie. But man, he was living wrong. And unfortunately, hate to see him go out like this, but I wish he had got it together. People are going to despise you for being truthful like that. I'll never forget when I went to a funeral and being that this person that passed away was extremely close to me. I had to sit at the front with the rest of the family. And I know how this person was. I mean, when they was alive. So everybody else knew how this person was when they was alive too. But they're acting like this person was just so angelic. So now everybody's crying and boo-hooing, and I'm the only one sitting there, and I was just sitting there with a regular face. And people said that I was evil for not crying. I still had compassion, you know what I'm saying? Of course I wasn't happy and celebrating because this person was dead. It was sad, I felt hurt by their passing, but I didn't show it through tears because I understand how this person was when they was alive. When it was time, when the funeral was over with, there was somebody that was like, because I guess they didn't have anybody to carry out the flowers, that was standing next to the casket. They didn't have, anybody to carry the casket. It was just crazy. So they asked the family to volunteer. But then they called my name to get up and volunteer and take the flowers out, and I didn't. Because there was other family that was willing to do it. Then they got mad and upset with me for not getting up and carrying the flowers out. Even though it was people in the family that was okay with doing it themselves. But they wanted Danny to do it. Why is that? Because they already felt some type of way about me not shedding tears and crying. So they decided to pick me out of everybody, This person literally passed away with living a certain lifestyle and was comfortable living that way all the way until they hit the elderly stage. And they were no more good because their health had declined already. And being that they were limited on the things that they can do and the things that they can say, they literally couldn't even change. It was too late. And I've even tried to help this person before they passed on, and they didn't want my help.
For the holidays, the best time of year, and
You know?
PetSmart is brimming with holiday cheer.
That's why I say, do you want to continue to live wrong? Like I said, I know me personally, I don't want to go out like that. When is people gonna start holding themselves accountable when they do the wrong thing and they know that they're doing the wrong thing? When is people gonna stop with the narcissism? When is it gonna stop? You only gonna be able to get so many warnings to change until you realize that you actually ain't got no time left to change. It's over with. Because you're gonna be dead and gone. And the whole thing about living life is for us to be able to make those mistakes so that we can correct them, so that we won't continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. Life is about transformation. And I'm sorry I gotta say it again, but it's the truth. It's about internal transformation. It's about internal change. It's about being right. Now, just because, shout out Stephen Darby, like he said, just because you born again, it don't mean that you ain't, it don't mean that you're gonna immediately stop sinning. You still might mess up from time to time, but that don't mean that you can keep doing it though, especially like I said, being that you know that you're doing wrong. You gotta clean up. You mess up, clean up. Mess up, clean up. Mess up, clean up. Also, you gotta allow yourself the opportunity to fall. You gotta fall so hard to the point where you know you get back up, you dust yourself off. You like, man, I got this. I got this. You gotta let yourself grow. Exactly. It's like a plant. You gotta let yourself grow like a plant. Man, look, I'm telling you, just when you decide that you're ready to change, when you're ready for a change, like Psychotic said, shout out to Psychotic, it's gonna come with a lot. It's gonna come with a lot of isolation, because a lot of people, they are not gonna love you anymore and like you anymore for your change. The fact that you made that decision to change, you're gonna lose out on a lot of relationships. Even people that ain't never met you, that ain't never known you before, strangers, they can see the change in you. They can see that you're renewed, and they don't even know you, but at that point, they're ready to deny you different opportunities in life. Like, for instance, a job, maybe getting a house, maybe getting a car. When you go through that change, a lot of people ain't gonna like you for it. But you gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with, not being liked by many people, because you stepped outside of that. You decided to leave the matrix behind. You're a new you. You renewed. You got to be okay with that though. You got to be okay with knowing that, hey, I don't care about what nobody else think about me. This is me. I want this for me. Because I want to die and go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell like them. In order to be ready for change, you have to be perfectly fine with a lot of people not accepting you for the new you. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people have created a narrative about me. They have painted a horrible picture of me. And it's all because I decided that I no longer want to be the old me. I want to be the new and improved me. Because obviously I have a purpose. I have a purpose. You know, I have a mission to complete. I changed internally. And obviously people don't know that because they don't want to have the opportunity. They don't even, when the opportunity presents itself, they put the blindfold back on. When I show them change, they keep the blindfolds on. They keep the earplugs in. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that. They don't want to see that. Hey, do what y'all do. I can't stop you. I mean, from feeling a way about me, you know. I'm grateful for the new me. I'm grateful. And I thank God every day. Regardless of what anybody has to say about me. I mean, it is very sick the lengths that people will go just because they feel like you haven't changed, or they don't want you to change, or they don't want to believe that you changed. It is very sick the lengths that they'll go. But I always look at it like this. Hey, God got the last say so. If you want to take it this route because you believe that I am this person and you need to break me some way, somehow, I'm just going to say I feel sorry for you wasting your time like that. You said this is coming from a strong woman who has an amazing story. Have to be a member for that part. Exactly. Exactly. You know, all I want is to be able to help people like how I had to be, you know, helped back into. I want to help people to come out of that mindset of I don't need to change. I'm not doing anything to have to change. It's so many different things that you can change about yourself in a good way. But when you're not consciously aware, then it's going to fly right over your head and you're just going to continue to, you know, indulge in doing the same things that you've been doing. But look, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming out, listening to me. If anybody would like to donate to the channel, you can hit the super chat. You can hit the Cash App. You can hit the subscribe button, the like button. Binge watch the videos, live streams, shorts. You know, any form of support is welcome. And I just hope that y'all can leave this live stream with a little bit of knowledge or something, and to know that it is time for a change. It's time to be born again. It is time to renew yourself. It's time for internal transformation, y'all. We are living in the end of the days, and we can't play. Ain't no more. The clock is ticking. Seriously. You shouldn't want to leave this earth continuing to do wrong. Well, I just want to say, God bless everybody. And make sure y'all go follow Psychotic, and Pastor Stephen Darby. R.I.P. to him. Shout out to his family, man. But I learned so much from Stephen Darby. And thank God for him, because he has changed many lives across the globe. To all the people that continue to judge me, God bless y'all. To all the people that continue to say that I'm this person, even though I know for a fact, and you know for a fact that I'm not, God bless y'all. I'm going to continue to live my life correctly. I'm going to continue to wake up every morning to my family and pray with them, and go to bed and pray with them. Yep. And I'm not going to stop praying either. So no matter what y'all think about me, I know who I am. God bless.